Denver Broncos at 6-2 on a 5-game winning streak go to Houston, where the Texans have been up and down. When they look bad, they look very bad. When they look good, they look great. They look great against the San Francisco 49ers, even though they played that Monday night game that went until after 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, come home, short week, even shorter, and they looked good. The defense, as you've been saying all year, one of the best in the league. Offense starting to figure things out. They've got the Broncos, and the Texans yet again are 1.5-point favorites against a 2-loss team.
Surprising, man. I didn't see that. I didn't really think that would be the case. I just saw these spreads just, a little before we came in here and did the pod. I was shocked by that.
And it's the lowest over-under the week of 39.5. Who you got?
Yeah. I can't wait for this game. I know we're in the era of offense and we want points and fantasy football. But, man, you know me. I'm a little old school. I like an old school defensive, knock your face off type of football game, and that's what you're going to get in this one. I mean, these are arguably the two most psycho defenses in football right now. So that's where I get pumped. And, yeah, I think the world of that Houston defense. You know that, right? I mean, I think they can almost win games by themselves. I think Houston found something on the offensive side of the ball a little last week. I think I talked about it on my pod. I think I talked about it with you a little bit on Wednesday. They went to the short passing game. I feel like they almost took the Chiefs Mahomes route where they went, wait, we're not totally healthy at receiver. We can't run the ball. C.J. Stroud's our best player. Let's let him get the ball, see the field, and boom, and be surgical, as I always say, right? And that's what they did to the 49ers. And then the 49ers got so sick of it being surgical that, oh, wait, there's a shot down the field, and there's a shot down the field. And I think if they can just do that with this kind of defense that they play there, yeah, I like their chances, right? The other thing is just I'm not sold. I know the Broncos offense has gone off the last 5 quarters, right? But at the same time, it was the Giants, which is one of the poor defenses in football, and it's the Cowboys who suck. So there's no other way to say that, right? So because of that, I thought I was picking an upset.
You chose violence.
I'm choosing violence, yeah. I thought I was picking an upset, but I'm actually picking the favorite here. I'm going Texans 19-16 in this one.
Last week, and this is one of those where, man, if I'd really sat down and thought this through, I might have understood why the Texans were favored, because I was like, why the hell are the Texans favored? But the edge that DeMeco Ryans had in this, former assistant coach of the 49ers taking on his team, the edge he had is he knows how to attack that defense.
That's right.
It's the same defense that he ran. It's the same defense he runs. And it's not a defense that is premised on making a lot of adjustments. It's like, this works.
Yes.
We're going to do this. If we run it the right way, it'll work. But there's going to be openings there that you can take advantage of if you're patient.
Right.
And I think about that defense versus the Broncos defense, and I don't know if I ever mentioned this on the show. I may have, or I may have told you separately, but when Hufanga and Greenlaw showed up in Denver, one of the early returns was, have these guys ever been coached? Because
they don't know a lot of defense.
Is much more complicated.
Right.
In San Francisco, it's much more simple.
Yes.
So Vance Joseph's defense is going to be, I think, a tougher nut for DeMeco Ryans and the offense to crack this week.
Right.
Yeah, and you got me tempted to think about the under here. Nobody ever bets the unders unless they have inside information as to whether or not a player is going to leave a game. But typically nobody wants to bet the unders. Life's too short to not bet the over. 39.5. I got 17-13 Broncos. And I'm nervous about this one, because if the same Texans team shows up as showed up last week, Broncos are in for a long day. But I think the difference is the defense. It's not going to be nearly as easy for the Texans to figure out how to move the ball. That long 10-minute drive to start the game. I don't think they're going to be able to do that against the Denver Broncos. So it was a close one. It was a toss-up. Broncos 17-13.
There's some interesting injuries, though, they got to throw out there, right? Patrick Surtain, we know he's dealing with something. Right.
Peck.
Yep.
And may go on IR.
Dre Greenlaw, as we know, always dealing with something. Got a quadricep issue there. Those are some big injuries on that. Marvin Mims has got a concussion. I would expect the Texans to have Nico Collins back this week from his concussion, right? Because he didn't play last week. Christian Kirk, where's he at with his hamstring? Right? Dalton Schultz is a little bit banged up. So, for all those out there that are listening to this stuff, just pay attention to the injury report a little. Yo, thanks for watching, homies. We are now in the NFL season here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, game recaps, film deep dives, and much, much more.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out. You know where to find us.